Hey there everybody, Racecrafter here, and welcome to the long-awaited follow-up video to my mob farm tutorial. I do sincerely apologize for taking so long. Life has just been crazy busy these past few months. Things have started to mellow out, so moving forward, I will be able to get more regular content up on the channel. If you're new to the channel, or you just haven't seen the original mob tutorial video, I will leave a link down in the description. In this video, I will be going over a couple design changes. They're minor, but they'll definitely help out. And I will be showing you what you see behind me, Trident Killer. I'll also be showing you an unloader and a sorter. These things are not my designs. They've been around for quite a while. But just to kind of keep everything all in one video, I will be showing you how to build those. So let's start with the elephant in the room. And that would be, if I can find the F5 button, there it is. That would be this. Now, these are 4 identical farms, all positioned within a certain distance of each other. And everything is connected via these water streams, and they all go down into this big storage system here. So I will be going over in detail all of this stuff. I'm not going to be doing block for block because this would be like a 2-hour video, but a lot of this is decorative too, so you know, that's all subjective. Do whatever you want, however you want. But I will be going over the specific details for getting all this linked together, the Afk spot or spots, and all that stuff. Also the rates for the 4 farms connected together, and all that jazz. There is a lot to go over in this video, so I will be moving forward kind of quickly. So hopefully you use that pause button a lot, because you might need to. First and foremost, I do sincerely appreciate everyone's patience and your support. I know it has been a long time, and hopefully this video will definitely help you out and make up for all of the lost time. So we're going to get started with a couple of the design changes, and we'll move on from there. Okay, so design change number 1, which should have been from the beginning, but it just wasn't. And I'm sure most of you have done this already, but originally we had a 3-block spacing between the rails. Now we have just 2. This makes it a little more efficient. Plus you can add another 2 layers of rails at the top, giving you a total of 7 layers of rails total. Design change number 2, changing the drop chute from a 4x4 to a 2x2. This is mainly for making the Trident Killer more effective, and it's going to save you a little bit on resources. Third design change is changing the length of the drop chute from 40 blocks to 32 blocks, and we're going to start our count of 32 from this block that they drop from inside this trough from the water tray. So this block right here, that's block number 1, and you count down 32. On the 33rd block is where you're going to place your hoppers. So the mobs will actually drop 32 blocks, but your hoppers will be hoppers right there. That's the 33rd block. This block right here is 32. So keep that in mind when you are counting. So if you're not familiar with how a Trident Killer works, it is very simple. You have a observer clock here powering 2 sticky pistons with slabs stuck to them, and you literally just throw the trident into the slabs, and from there you just flick a lever, turn it on, goes back and forth, the mobs drop down, get killed, and you collect the XP. Now if you have a looting 3 sword or just a looting sword, you can hold that sword and you will get the benefits of the looting 3 each time a mob gets killed. But you do have to stand right up close to the blocks here to get the XP. And also keep in mind, this is like incredibly loud, and I'm probably yelling into the mic right now because I don't have my sound turned down, but it's very loud, so keep that in mind. but it's super simple and it's very, very effective. Next up, we have this unloader system. This takes the drops from each of the 4 kill chambers and transports or sends them into the water stream that sends them over to the main storage area. It's a nice, simple, compact design. Comparator reads the signal from the hopper when items are flow through the hopper. Powers this block, which powers a sticky piston, which sends this observer down to connect with the other observer, creating a clock. This redstone dust powers the block underneath the dropper, and then the dropper spits out the items into the water stream. You can optionally put a redstone lamp here under the observer, which will light up each time, so when you're AFK at night, you can just kind of see things that are actually happening, just like that. And it's nice and easy, and it fits in here easy, and it works really good. And this is the sorter system here. This is the original Impulse SV design, very reliable. It can be tiled right next to each other, or it can be separate like this. Works just fine either way. What happens here is that items will flow through this main hopper line at the top. They will drop down into this hopper that is pointed into the comparator. For items that are 16 stackable, you will configure it like this. You'll have these 4 slots will be items that will never ever flow through this, so mobs do not drop oak planks, so you can put oak planks. Like I said, for items that are 16 stackable, you'll have 26 items in this first slot and then 1 in each of the others, and then 4 of the actual item that you're sorting will be left in that hopper, and then anytime a new banner comes through, it will provide enough signal strength to power the whole 3 lines of dust here, which will in turn power this repeater here, which powers the block, which will turn off this redstone torch, unlocking the hoppers, allowing the items to flow through into the chest. And a quick little tip, let me find where I did it here somewhere. Where did I do it? I don't think I actually did it on any of them. Can't find it now. Oh, I changed my design. Just a quick tip on when you have items that, for example, like glowstone, sticks, redstone dust, things that witches drop that, you know, witches are not going to be spawning a whole lot in this. So what you can do is with a double chest, you can put 2 of these side by side and put, say for example, you would put glowstone in this one, and then the exact copy of this right next to it, so tiled together, you would put redstone in that one. And that way, even though they won't be sorted evenly inside the chest, you know, they will be sorted into the same chest, so you can save space on that by having just a single double chest sort 2 items. So I hope that makes sense. In the little tutorial that I'll show you how to build this, I will show that properly, but I just wanted to kind of offer up that little tip, as it'll save space on chests. Okay, so how do you get started? I'm sure you're probably asking. Well, once you have built your first farm, you're going to want to space them out evenly so that everything is in a position where you have a central AFK spot and everything will be within range to keep mobs spawning. So, first thing, your number one, where you want to count from, let's go to one that I have not done yet. First thing you want to do is count out at least 24 blocks. What I've done is I've counted out 25, and I have, since this water tray is an even number, it's 38, you're going to have the center will be 2 blocks instead of just 1, so it's a little bit different than when you do with an odd number, but you will count out 25. So this button is going to be block number 1, so this is 2. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. So as you can see here, these 4 are centralized within all 4 farms, and this is going to be your AFK spot. Now, as far as the actual Y coordinate for your AFK spot, it can be anywhere from Y 195 all the way up to Y 218. In my testing, I have found that anywhere in that range is going to be about the same, give or take. Now, as far as a baseline for it, this drop chute here is at Y178. So I think originally in the original tutorial video we started at 165, but since these have been shortened up a little bit, we are now, well, it's probably going to be here, 177. So that is your starting point for building the drop chute instead of the Y165 in the original video. Now, of course, if you have built the farm from the original video, no problem. Just simply count up the difference between 178 or 177 and 165, and you know, just got to do a little bit of math. It's really not that difficult because there is a wide range here to AFK. So once you have each centralized, you know, you count out your 25 blocks, you get your little AFK spot, then you can actually go backwards. Since your farm, all 4 farms won't be built yet, you would go, you know, build your count out your 25 blocks, and then on the the button is 25, so 26 is the start of your first rail for your next farm. Same thing on the other side, same thing on the other side. So you just kind of have a little starting point here, and just remember that we're not counting to the edge of the water tray, we are counting to the first spawning rail of the farm itself, not the water tray. So because if you count from the water tray, you are going to lose 1 or 2 blocks on the back of each rail going all the way up. So you need to count from this button on the first spawning rail block. Now, as far as the roof goes, obviously being in creative mode, I've covered the entire area. I couldn't even begin to tell you how many blocks that is, but it is certainly a truckload. Now, as long as the roof covers the farm, I would suggest a minimum of 10 blocks outside the edges. So 10 blocks in this direction, 10 blocks in that direction. So it would probably be, since that's 38 by 38, the water tray, I would say 48 by 48. You do not need to cover the center like this over top of the collection area and the AFK spot. You can if you want, but it's not necessary. As long as each farm is completely pitch black dark during the day, they will perform as they should. Now, if the roof is any smaller and light's leaking in through the sides or something like that, then you will have to extend the roof to make the farms fully darkened. Oh, look at that. We already got a dude spawning where he shouldn't be spawning. See ya. So, roof. You don't have to put a roof. This can be just strictly a farm for nighttime. So if you want to conserve or don't have the resources to make a roof or 4 different roofs that big, obviously you can save on that for now and just use the farm at night. But if you want to use the farms 24/7, you will need a roof, and to ensure that the farm is completely pitch black dark from top to bottom, so mobs will spawn all the time. Now, as far as linking up all the items from each drop chute, just simple water streams. Now, just for my OCD for symmetry and design, I wanted this storage area to be an odd number. So 2 of these water streams are 25 blocks long. The other 2 are 24 blocks. That allows this center part here to be an odd number, but it makes no importance if you don't care about, you know, having even number or whatever. You can make them all the same length. This section here has no importance as far as size. The water streams do not need to be a certain length or anything like that. As long as everything is able to link to the central storage system, it can be any size you want. You know, like I said, design is subjective. However you want to do that, it makes really no difference at all, just as long as everything is connected to the same spot. Now, as far as what I did, like I said, this stream and that stream over there are 25 blocks long. This stream and this stream are 24 blocks. Allows for a, I believe the storage area is 23 by 23. That would be where these slabs are, so that, you know, 23 long this way, 23 long that way. It's a square. The hopper line around the edge of that is 25 by 25. So yeah, lots of hoppers. Not gonna lie, this is a massive build and is definitely more suited for a multiplayer realm where you've got some help with a bunch of people gathering resources and iron and all that stuff. But, you know, if you're crazy like me, you would still build this in your single player world or for yourself on a multiplayer server. You know, it's just it's definitely going to get you enough drops for everybody on the server, definitely, without question. So the water streams themselves, you definitely want to encase them completely with non-spawnable blocks. So glass is the easiest. You definitely want to put a top on it, so when the items get spit out of the dropper, they stay inside the stream. I like to use pressure plates where the water streams end and start, just to give that audible sound that things are happening, because each time an item goes over the pressure plate, it does click. So it just a little confirmation that, you know, things are happening, with the redstone lamp on the unloader, just a visual confirmation of things are happening. Very simple, just, you know, simple water stream. I used packed ice. I think that's packed ice. Yes, packed ice. Kind of looks like blue ice. But you can use packed ice or blue ice. Obviously, packed ice is a lot easier, but you don't necessarily need to use ice for the entire water stream, as long as you have at least 3. So one in front of the pressure plate, or if you're using a sign, in front of the sign, one on the stream break, and then one after. You know, to be safe, you can do 2 and 2 after, and then 1 in the middle, so a total of 5. You know, but, you know, ice is pretty easy. You can find biomes like that and just do the whole thing in ice. It makes a big difference. If you have just regular blocks in the stream, there is a chance the items could kind of get stuck on the pressure plate. Definitely want to put ice at least on that pressure plate or sign or break in the stream. Definitely want ice on that at least. And then another thing, portal. You do not want to load the ground around this farm at all. I would highly suggest building this farm way far away from anything in the world, and that way you don't have any mobs that are going to be spawning in the area. It's not going to be a frequently traveled area, so, you know, even if people aren't in the area all the time, somebody's going to walk through and mobs are going to spawn, because in Bedrock Edition, mobs do not despawn, and once they have spawned, they are pretty much there forever. So having a portal here ensures that you will never load the ground down there, and that will keep this farm at top efficiency at all times. As far as this design goes, for my AFK spot, this here is just glass, because obviously in Bedrock Edition you cannot walk through a portal and without getting sent to the nether. So this one would be the actual portal. Same with that one on that side. I just didn't light it because it's loud and makes noise. Can't deal with that with talking and noise in the headphones at the same time. And then 2 sides that you could just easily walk through to get to the ladder to get up to your AFK spot. The other thing, as far as your AFK spot, whether it be here or there or anywhere in between, you definitely want to enclose it with something so that phantoms are not going to come and kill you when you're AFK, because that would really suck. So you definitely want to enclose that. Easiest thing is just have a ladder pillared up with blocks and then have some kind of enclosed AFK spot. It does not need to be as fancy as this. It could just be glass cage. Anything that is non-spawnable. Definitely want to slab or glass or use stairs or leaf blocks or something that is non-spawnable, because you definitely don't want to get killed by a mob while you're AFK up here either. That would really suck. So, I mean, obviously you could light it up too, you know, whatever the case, just as long as that is not a spawnable area. Same thing with all of the spots on your storage area. As you can see, everything is either glass, fence, slab, stair. It's lit up. Nothing is going to spawn in this area. The floor here is all slabs, so, and lit up, of course. So you definitely want to ensure that no mobs are going to be spawning here, because that will definitely take away from the efficiency, and it would just really suck to get surprised by a mob and die while you're AFK at your mob farm, because they're supposed to be dying over there, not you dying over here. Now, we were talking about rates. The best rates that I got, now these are going to vary a little bit from world to world, and they're definitely going to vary on a realm, because realms work differently than single player worlds. Single player worlds do have the advantage of switching to peaceful mode to reset all mobs, and then switch back to hard mode, so that way all the mobs in the world disappear, and then once you switch back to hard mode, they will spawn normally again. I did an hour AFK and got 2,735 items. These were like just the regular drop, or the what do we call them? Just the witch drops, you know. I don't know how we got spider eyes in there. Don't know. These are the regular drops. Quite a bit of gunpowder, full row of string, lots of bones, lots of arrows. All that was about 2,735. But I would be more inclined to say that you're probably going to get between 2,000 and 2,200 to 2,400 drops per hour while AFK, under good circumstances. On a realm, might be a little lower, might be, you know, 1,800 to 2,000. It all depends, especially if there are other players on the realm at the same time that you are here AFK. That is drastically going to reduce the rates. Mobs in the world taking up the mob cap, that is going to decrease the rates. It all depends, because different worlds will have different amounts of mobs at the time. So I can't give you an exact number. In a perfect world, right there, that's the number you're going to get, give or take, you know, obviously. But that is a pretty decent number for just 1 hour, and that's a lot of items, man. And you know, as far as gunpowder goes for rockets and that, this will definitely keep you rolling in rockets, no problem at all. Another quick tip for when you start to build this farm, I would suggest when you go to find your location, like I said before, way far away from everything and everybody. If you can do that while a bunch of other people are on, if you're doing it on a realm, of course, if you can do that while a bunch of other people are on, that will minimize the mobs that will be spawning on the ground while you're walking around trying to find your location. Obviously, if you have elytra, you can fly and you will not load the ground, so you can, as long as you fly high enough, that would be ideal. That way you can do it alone. But you know, if you are alone, I would suggest get to your location and as quickly as possible pillar way up. Minimum, I would say pillar up a full stack of blocks and get to that starting point, and then that way you're not on the ground for very long. You're minimizing all this possible ground spawns or cave spawns while you're down there. So just get to your location, grab a stack of blocks, and immediately pillar up and start from there. That way, you know, you're just trying to minimize all the spawns on the realm. Now, if you're the realm owner, you can obviously switch it to peaceful to reset everything. Which it might, you know, you definitely want to check with your members in case anyone has any trapped hostile mobs like a zombie villager waiting to be cured or anything like that, because those mobs will disappear and somebody might be a little bit upset about that. So just, you know, make sure as a realm owner, double check with your members. It probably should be done on a regular basis just because of the lack of mob despawning in Bedrock Edition. That, you know, set it to peaceful just to reset everything and get a fresh start, probably on at least on a monthly basis. So I think I've covered everything. Obviously this is a huge project, but it's not difficult in the mechanics because, you know, everything's pretty much identical. You're just building 4 identical farms and everything is just very repetitive. One of the main things that you really need to pay attention to, though, is keeping like the storage area, the water streams, the area around the drop chutes, all spawn proof. So they need to be either lit up or slabbed or glass or some kind of spawn proof block to prevent mobs from spawning on those areas there. And especially the roof. I believe I used slabs up here, and I used glass. In the original video I used slabs. You can use torches, you know, they're pretty cheap to make, but you don't want the light to kind of leak over the edge. So if your roof is not wide enough, some light might leak over the edge. I'm not entirely sure about that, but, you know, just make sure that the farms themselves are pitch black dark, whatever type of roof you use. But putting, you know, spawn proofing the top of the roof is extremely important, because if you don't do that, then everything's going to spawn up there and nothing's going to spawn down here, and you're going to be like, dude, this don't work. But, you know, also your AFK spot, if you're especially when you're testing too, you want to make sure that your AFK spot, or as you're building, just kind of spawn proof things as you go, just so you don't get surprised and get knocked off the edge and by some mob and, you know, fall to your death, because that would really suck too. So just, you know, mob proofing or spawn proofing, sorry, is priority number 1. Of course, you do not want to spawn proof these. You can, you know, just keep this lit up while you're building it. That would, you know, that would definitely help. And then, you know, just go around and knock out all the torches once you're done. But I think that covers pretty much everything. Of course, you know, there's going to be a lot of questions down in the comments if I did forget something. Hopefully I didn't. If not, you know, I've been very active in the comment section of the original video. I will continue to do that with future videos, of course. If there are things that come up that I totally spaced on and forgot, I will make a follow-up video to address those issues. But I think that pretty much covers it. Yes, like I said, it is a massive project. I have personally built 2 of these in survival mode on realms, and it takes time, not gonna lie. Get some friends to help you out, because this farm will help out the entire server Everybody on the server can, come here and either collect XP with the Trident Killer, or just come here and AFK, collect drops, so, do what you can to get everybody involved. That will make the build go much smoother, much quicker, and everybody will benefit from it. So I think we're going to end the explanation video part of this. It's probably already about 30 minutes long. I do want to get into a flat world and show you the block for block builds on the Trident Killer, on the unloader, and on the sorter system. So its video is going to be a little bit long, but I want to keep everything in one video so you guys have one video just to kind of reference and be able to get everything done. So we're gonna switch over to a flat world and I will show you those builds right now. Oh, and one quick thing I wanted to mention before we go over to the flat world. Please double, triple, quadruple check your counts, because if you count out any of these wrong when you're positioning your AFK spot and positioning the rest of the farms, you will be extremely upset if you have to tear down a whole farm because it's in the wrong spot. So double, triple, quadruple check all your counts before you actually start to build the other sets of farms. We'll start here with the sorter system. You can pretty much see it's very easy to build. I'll still go through and build one with you. But this is what I was talking about, having two items sorted into the same set of chests. As you can see, in this hopper we got glowstone, and in this hopper we got redstone, and they sort into the same set of chests like this. They're not going to be all nicely spaced out and even inside here, but all your stacks will be in its proper stacks. But that way you can save space and have the lesser available items from the drops going into the same chest, and you're not taking up space for just glowstone and then just redstone. The other thing could be like glass bottles and sticks going into a double chest. So you have 4 different items going into only 2 sets of chests. So it just helps to save space on that. So let's build this really quick. As you can see, the configuration here, it's kind of a T with a little, tail on the end there. So we're going to just build off this one. You're going to have 1 block there, temporary, 1 block up, same in the back, temporary, 1 block up, and then cover the top like a T, just like that. You're going to want a comparator on the first block here, and then redstone dust down these 3. Repeater facing forward this way, and then on the front we'll put on some chests. Put a chest. Gonna have chests in my hotbar. Chest there. Typically you usually put 3 chests on a larger build like this, and then have hoppers going into the back like that. Top hopper is going to go facing into the comparator. So find the hitbox of the comparator, place your hopper so that the tail points to the comparator. And that's it. Oh, redstone torch on this block here. Very important because that locks it and will stop items from flowing through until it is time. So what you would do is, let's get some items here. Just any old items. Need 4 of those, and we'll put bones in here. So in this top hopper that points to the comparator is where you're going to put your filtered items. So wood planks through the mob farm would never go through there, so we can put that there. You can rename them anything. That way you're absolutely 100% guaranteed they will never ever go through there, and this will never break. And then your 64 stackable items go like that, and this will count down till it hits 41, and that powers these 2 lines of redstone dust. Once the 42nd item is in there, it powers this third line of redstone dust, which then will power this repeater, powering this block here, effectively turning off the redstone torch, unlocking the hoppers, and all the items get pushed down into there. Now you can see down here, the rest of the bones are here. So if we were to take these and stick them in here, I can do it quick enough. You can see now that's powered, powers the repeater, turns off the torch, everything flows down there until that reaches 41 again. Then that repeater goes off, torch goes back on, it's locked, it's ready for the next batch of bones to come through and get sorted. Now as far as doing, you know, this with the glowstone redstone thing, you would simply just put another one, you know, absolutely directly right next to it. And even though these redstone dusts are connected to each other, they do not have any effect. Everything will be no problem at all. It's not going to interfere with anything. So you would have that there, put torch here, repeater here, and then fill this up with, you know, whatever item you're going to do. And the same thing with the 4 slots here. You want to put a single item of something that is not going to go through the system. So there is the sorter system. Super simple. And this, of course, this chest would kind of simulate the this chest here at the end of the hopper, or end of the water stream. Actually, this hopper would be like this hopper here. So that would, you know, travel, all the items will travel along. Once the item that is being sorted, which here would be redstone, once redstone hits this hopper, it'll drop down into there and get sorted. Super simple, super easy, and very, very reliable. So moving on to the water stream, again, unloader, sorry. Ice is not absolutely mandatory for the entire water stream. At least ice where the water streams break and start, you definitely want to put some kind of ice there because items can and usually will get stuck. As far as the unloader, we'll build another one right here real quick. So you want to have one block there, temporary block, one there. Whoop, I should have left that one there. Not there, there. So you have this kind of zigzag kind of thing, and then comparator on the block there. You want to face your, do I have a dropper? I do. You want to face your dropper in the direction of your water stream, obviously, so whichever direction that would be, you know, place it there. The water stream is going to be going this way, so items are going to be spit into the water stream. You want to put a hopper on top of that, and then a block on the face of the comparator, like that, and then your sticky piston facing downwards on that block with your observer facing, you want it to face this way. So I can never remember which way. Yes, with the redstone part facing outwards, the face facing towards the dropper. Now the other observer on this part down here is going to be facing the opposite direction. So both faces need to face each other. Redstone dust on this block here, and that is ready to go. So now once any item gets placed in here, it triggers and spits it out. And of course you want to enclose all that with the glass, and then place your water last. And that is good to go. Now there are times where the item will flow into the hopper and go down into the dropper fast enough that the comparator doesn't always read it. Not to worry, as soon as the next item flows down into the dropper, both items are going to get spit out No problem at all. I've noticed that there are times that it does not get triggered. I don't know if it's just kind of the way Redstone is on Bedrock Edition or what, but it happens occasionally. But like I said, the next item that comes through activates it, and it's good to go. Now the Redstone Lamp can go right there on that block, so that anytime, should have turned off the weather. See, right there it showed it went through, did not register. Did it again. So if we put another item, it spit both items out there. They're down there. And then you saw the redstone lamp come on. And lastly, we have the Trident Killer. Like I mentioned earlier, if you have a looting sword, be sure to be holding that while AFK here at the Trident Killer, as the looting effect will get you more drops. The other thing is, only the player who throws the trident will get the XP. So if you're on a multiplayer server, everyone has to throw the trident into the killer to get the XP. So what I would suggest is to have like a couple item frames to put the tridents in, so nobody has to remember to bring a trident to the farm, and that way they're always there ready for anyone who's going to be here AFK. So we're going to start here with the dropper, just to kind of keep everything in perspective, as this dropper is the dropper from the unloader there. So we got dropper facing that way into the water stream, hopper on top, hopper into that hopper, and then another hopper on top of that, with two hoppers facing backward, or facing into that one, and then two facing into those two. That creates your platform for your actual kill. And we're going to place blocks around like so. We're going to put two sticky pistons here, and then continue filling in all these blocks. I definitely suggest doing at least 3 blocks tall. That way there's no chance of mobs glitching out through glass, and fill in the corners. Don't leave the corners out. And then you can start with your glass or your drop chute, like so. So then we will put another block here, slab here on that hopper, here, and this is going to be the platform where you're going to stand on, and the water stream will be under this. Next, very simple, just put a slab on the face of each of the sticky pistons, put a slab on this block, slab here, and actually you could probably get away with solid blocks there if you wanted. But then this is the slot that the XP is going to come out of, and you do need to stand right up against it for the XP to come out. Next, we will put a sticky piston on this block here, facing outwards. 2 blocks on the back of these sticky pistons. Observer facing away from the farm, and another observer facing directly in front of that. Lever on the sticky piston and turn it on, or flick it. That way to separate the 2 observers. Dust on the back of those, on the top of those blocks there. And there, just that simple. Then just take your tridents, throw them into the slabs. Good to go. And like I said, it's super loud. You're definitely going to want to turn your sound down when you're near this thing. So that is it for the Trident Killer. Super simple, super easy, and it's like one of the best things on Bedrock Edition. It's a great source of XP for AFK and the looting. I mean, can't get any better than that. And there you have it. The Four Corners mob farm explained. Now, I really hope that I have explained it well enough for you all to understand, and I really hope that I explained everything. I hope I didn't miss anything. But I just wanted to thank you once again for your patience and for your support. I know it's taken a while for this video to come out, but hopefully it all makes up for it by building this farm. Put a lot of work and a lot of time into testing all this, and I sincerely do hope that it works out for you. So thank you for watching. I certainly appreciate it, and I really appreciate the support in the last few months. A lot of new subscribers to the channel. Thank you very much. Welcome. And like I said in the beginning, things have mellowed out a little bit, and going forward I will be able to put out more regular content. I do have a lot of tutorials and stuff that I want to get recorded and share with you guys, so hopefully I can get those out pretty quickly in the next few weeks, actually, along with the Let's Plays. So once again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. I am out of here. See ya.